Aloha! Today I thought I'd teach you how to make a treasure map. You know, it's almost summertime and it's kind of fun to think about going on a treasure hunt. And also, when I think of Hawaii, I think there's got to be buried treasure out there. Don't know if it's true or not because I've never been. Looks like paradise though. So anyway, I thought we'd have a lot of fun with making a treasure map. So my first clue is that you use one of your paper bags. Now this happens to be a Dairy Queen bag, but these others, they were from the school lunches. So you've got nice brown paper to work on. You know, like old fashioned, like maybe you found this discarded map from way long time ago. All right, so I wet it. I put it in the sink and I got it really wet because when you do that, it tears really easy. It's not very hard and you get a nice even tear to it. Okay, so then I don't really want the bottom of the sack. So I'm going to go ahead and go around the bottom and discard that. I don't want that part. Okay, and then I can, there are two ways to deal with this. I can just wait. As you can see, there's little crumple marks. I can just wait until it dries, or I can put it in the oven on a cookie sheet on the very lowest number it will go to. So, but the sunshine usually works just fine. Well, I don't want to use it right now on my, I don't want to write on my wet one. I want to write on my dry one. So here's one, and I should have used that nice technique because that one actually looks better. This one I ripped when it was dry. And I have already drawn, it's called a compass rose. I hope you learned about that in school when you were doing some mapping skills. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw my island, my treasure island. And I want you to know, I know the second graders learned all about water, bodies of water and land formations. So I'm going to draw just a really crazy kind of island. It can have a bay or an inlet. It can have an island with a peninsula on it. Mine kind of, oh, this time it kind of looked like a flower. Anyway, that's fine. So my first thing is I take care of the shape of the map, and then I do the island. Next, I need to embellish it. Okay, so I'm going to add some things like this. I'm going to add where there's mountains or trees or a castle or palm trees, or I'll put a whale in the water or a boat in the water to make it look more like it's an old-timey map, because they would decorate their maps like that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one more technique that you can use to make your map look more interesting. So if you have details on your map, then you're going to want to use some colored pencils to make those details show up. So for example, I want my whale to be blue. So I'm going to color them in, and that is going to be my blue whale. And then maybe I want the ocean water, the ocean waves to have, the ocean to have some waves that show. All right? And then maybe I want my trees to be really green. Well, they're small and they're details, so they are probably something that I'm going to want to use a colored pencil for. But then for the larger areas, I can use my watercolor paints. So I still want blue, absolutely. And I know you remember Mr. Harry talking to you about wet on wet or wet on dry. And then for this one, I'm going to use wet on dry. But I could have done wet on wet. It's just that I don't want to cross my border line. So if I want blue in the ocean, then I don't want blue on my land. So I want to make sure that I do not cross the border. And like he said, if it's wet on wet, it just bleeds right along with that water. And if it's wet on dry, it stays where I put it. Okay? So mine is not finished, and I want you to go ahead and make one out of your lunch sacks. And you could have a treasure hunt, and you could put an X marks the spot, and you could just have a lot of fun with that. But anyway, those old-timey maps are a lot of fun. Aloha!